My name is Mo Amir, and this is Vancolour, British Columbia's bona fide culture and politics TV talk show right here on Check and Check Plus. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Tonight, as we wrap up 2021, how are you feeling? Are you hopeful? Or as far as the pandemic goes, do you feel like the worst is yet to come? Public opinion researcher Mario Canseco joins the show to talk about our collective mood as we head into 2022. But first, rapid antigen tests for COVID-19 offer test results within 20 minutes, unlike PCR tests for COVID-19, which can take 1 to 3 days for results. British Columbia received 3.2 million of these rapid antigen tests for COVID-19, while for comparison, Alberta, a smaller province by population, received over 11 million rapid antigen tests. Around 700,000 tests out of BC's current supply of rapid COVID-19 tests can be used at home, but they are in large packs of dozens that would need to be repackaged for individual use, which would require labor, although Alberta got smaller packages, and Nova Scotia began repackaging their bulk packs into individual kits back in September. In BC, you can't buy these rapid tests at pharmacies for some reason, although other provinces have them available at drugstores and even liquor stores. And while other provincial governments are widely releasing these rapid tests, often at no cost, British Columbia will only widely distribute rapid tests mid-January after the holidays, with no plan for making them free to everyone. Is this a big deal? Did BC drop the ball on rapid COVID-19 testing? Well, our guest today has been voicing her concerns for quite some time now. She is the BC MLA for Kelowna Mission, the former official opposition critic for health, and a current BC Liberal leadership candidate. She's in town, she's in studio. She is Renee Merrifield. Renee, so nice to see you.
So nice to see you.
I'm very confused though. These rapid tests for COVID-19, you can't buy them in stores or pharmacies here in BC, and they will be widely available in mid-January, but after the holidays. And now with the Omicron variant, you think that it would be really important to distribute these. So what is happening? Did BC actually drop the ball when it comes to COVID-19 testing and rapid testing?
Absolutely. Absolutely, BC dropped the ball. Starting December 8th of last year, so almost exactly a year ago, I started asking questions about why rapid testing wasn't being used more widely. Mm-hmm. You have world leaders like Dr. Michael Ryan from the WHO saying test, test, and test again so that you're not flying blind. And it really is a form of empowering your citizenry to take that responsibility to keep each other healthy. And then you see, Dr. Tam coming out just a couple days ago saying we need to deploy the rapid tests, right, and every other jurisdiction following suit. So, could we have had them? Should we have them? Yes, and yes, and yes.
So, is there any evidence that rapid testing actually slows down or reduces transmission? Because Provincial Health Officer Dr. Bonnie Henry very recently just said that rapid tests are not a tool that can be used to prevent transmission. So I'm just confused as to, are they effective? Are they not effective? Is there evidence to show that they have slowed down transmission?
Well, I think it's good to talk about evidence. I am not an epidemiologist or a virologist.
Neither am I, by the way, just FYI.
But I looked to Dr. Michael Mena, and I used some of his research even in question period last year in the House. He is world renowned. He is a Harvard medical professor, mm-hmm, and he has been absolutely leading the charge on rapid tests worldwide. So, you look at his information, at all of the studies that he's done, and his answer would be yes, it does break the chains of transmission. And then you look at how they're being used, whether it's the premier at a dinner, meeting, in the spring, or whether it's looking at Chrystia Freeland and Minister Freeland and how she, deployed them when, to all of her staff and caught 2 that were infected, that were unknown, or the UBC study study that came out last May where they tested over 3,000 students, and one of their findings was that they actually broke, and I quote, 28 chains of transmission. So, I do believe that they're very effective, especially now when we need them against Omicron. Yes, we have vaccination, and, I am fully vaccinated, but as a fully vaccinated individual, I don't know where I'm at in terms of how much immunity I still have. I'm 5 months out. I'm 5 months away from my last dose. So it gives me a great sense of ease if I know that I can, take my tests. And I actually tweeted out back in around Thanksgiving, I was jealous watching Nova Scotia and seeing, some of these, like, here's Johnny, here's Jill's, and here's mine, and here's Derek's. And, and now we're going to go off to, grandma and grandpa's. And a rapid test is an easy way for us to give assurance that way.
Now, we've both established that neither of us are scientists or epidemiologists.
True.
However, when you were raising these concerns, and I think they are fair concerns, especially considering your former role as the critic for health, what was the response? What were you hearing back?
Largely discounting it. First was, these are not licensed for this use. Then it was, well, you need training to actually deploy them. It's too expensive. Then it was, well, you need machines to deploy them. And I do think that we've come a long way, and we've been learning along the way with different methodologies and different technologies coming. But when we got the big mother load from the feds in terms of 3 million tests, those were ready to be deployed.
And you 2 million of them are just sitting there, is that correct?
2 million are just sitting there.
What's the rationale that you're getting back when you're bringing up these concerns that we should just have them sitting there?
That they're too hard to separate, that they're difficult to deploy, that it's expensive, that the feds give them to us but they don't actually use them. And I've heard all sorts of excuses, and the reality is that we are now creating another divide, another have and have nots, because those with means can order them. You can order them online, but now you're paying for them, and it might cost you $100, to test your entire family, or it might cost a business $50 or $150 to test their employees. So now we're creating this divide of those who have and can order their tests from Alberta. We're not talking about ordering them from foreign countries and not being good. We're talking the same ones that the feds are using. You can buy them.
Yeah.
My daughter attends University of Victoria, and with the outbreak, she's in the middle of finals, and she got a little concerned about, what am I going to do, Ma? And it's like, okay, well, you can book a test. Well, no, you can't, because I don't have any symptoms. I'm fully vaccinated. How will I know?
Yeah.
So it's an easy, simple, rapid test that if she could get it at her pharmacy would be so much better.
And so one of the things I've been hearing is that if we make rapid tests widely available, it's actually going to discourage people from getting the PCR test. Or worse yet, it might even discourage people from getting vaccinated, because they might think, or getting their booster, because they might think, I'm seeing grandma, but I'm not vaccinated. I'll just take one of these rapid tests and I'll do that, and I'll clear it, and then I'll go see grandma. So is there any credence to that rapid tests might discourage PCR testing, which is apparently more reliable, or even vaccinations?
Well, I would say that a carpenter, just because you put a wrench in his tool or her tool belt, is not going to not use the hammer as well, right? That's absurd. We need to deploy all of the resources, especially against this new variant. We need to actually allow people to take that responsibility and to encourage it. And I'm just so encouraged to see all of the people demanding rapid tests, because it does say that we still are in that mode of, we want to keep people safe.
Yeah.
We're not throwing off the boundaries and saying, no, I don't want to be vaccinated, and no, I don't want to be. No, we want it all, right? Like, give it all to us, because that's going to be how we keep each other safe. So, in other jurisdictions, you use the rapid test as a screening tool. You go for the PCR test if it comes out positive. It's simple. And, you look at places like Denmark, they're about 50-50 in terms of rapid tests and then PCR tests, but they're doing about 450,000 tests a day, with a similar population to BC.
And how many are we doing?
10,000 a day on average.
Okay.
Yeah.
Renee, thank you so much for your time. This was very illuminating, and I hope that we have more testing, we have more tools to fight COVID-19 as it evolves. So thank you so much for your voice on this issue.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for bringing attention to it.
Absolutely. Folks, For the full chat with Renee Merrifield, find This is Vancolour wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you are a BC Liberal member as of December 17th, she is running for the party's leadership in a campaign that concludes on February 5th. Absolutely, she is worth your consideration. Now, after some business, let's talk about our feelings. Do we think the worst is behind us when it comes to the COVID-19 pandemic? Is the emotional roller coaster of COVID-19 starting to settle down? Up next, public opinion researcher Mario Canseco shares his findings with all of us. I'm Mo Amir. This is Vancolour.